ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Three Beards podcast special episode with the two champions. We got Trey over in the right corner, Martin Smash Brown, and the man of the hour, Washington. We're gonna talk about this victory you got, and then the second victory you got outside of the ring. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you lead off a little bit and tell us about the fight. I know you done got a couple interviews in on how to fight. I just want to know you were gonna get him out of there. It looked like if the ref wouldn't have stopped it. So go ahead and tell me your side of that
I
story.
can't even lie to you. I have the most utmost respect for my opponent, but it was time to go to sleep. It was almost that time. Like the reason why the referee stopped it because they knew how severe the injury was, and he wasn't stopping the right hand. So by the time he actually fell asleep, it was going to be even way worse than what it needed to be. So it's for longevity of the fighter first and foremost. So I have the utmost respect for my component, my opposition. Now, when it comes to the little green haired little girl, the weirdest thing about this gentleman is that he approached me looking aggressive, being aggressive, not once, but twice, three times. And then when he finally gets checked for it, now all of a sudden he's shocked. He's the one shocked, like we were supposed to go out to dinner or something. Like there is no reason for us to even have a conversation if you're walking up to me saying you're gonna beat me up. I'm trying to avoid you. We are not under contract. I have no desire to talk to you. For him to scream for security every time I go back and I look at that right there, that whole little scene, screaming for help, help! He hit me. Like I've never seen a grown man who went from grown to schoolgirl real quick. Like he forgot what side of the fence he was on, and I didn't understand why he played that role. And then when Mr. Tough Guy Henry got in front of me, he knew who I was. He just cornered me smashing something, coming out of Team Smash. You understand? Like, so he seen what was fixing to happen. He knew what he stopped immediately. Immediately second guessed his whole career choice. Like, I don't want to do this. And I understand that. But then the little dude jumped up behind me and choked me. Okay. As I'm walking away, he didn't even choke me as my back was fully to him. As I got ready to walk away, he wants to grab me. But their statement is that they were trying to stop a melee. There was only one incident, one strike thrown.
I mean,
I
I
popped
didn't
him in the
see.
mouth.
I didn't see no melee. I just seen a quick pop, and I think it was best when Lorenzo Hunt was talking. They kind of slowed it down, the little punch. I just seen the hat. I just seen the little green hair go everywhere. So, did the backstory really happen on what everybody's saying happened in the back? That y'all kind of had some words in the back, and that was the third time y'all met up, or
See,
what's the backstory to that?
I actually came from the back. Me and Trey were in the back. He told me to go outside, dress out, kiss some babies, shake some hands. So I'm doing what my team has taught me to do. Like I'm being conditioned to do the right thing for longevity in my career. I don't got no time to pay attention to no foolishness. I walk
Absolutely.
underneath the little stairwell area. This gentleman runs at me. He don't just walk up to me. He runs at me. Okay. Stops like a person when they run at you like that, like a movie, like the little kid, they run real fast and they stop in your face. Like he did just like that. And so now I dropped my bag because I don't know what's going on. This is the first time he approaches me. He's like, yeah, you fought my friend, and I'm gonna fight you. You called him a bitch and all this other stuff. I called your friend a bitch, and I didn't call your friend a bitch or anything like that. First and foremost, and I don't know why you even walking up to me, but we're gonna fight. Cool, no problem. I go to walk away. This is the first time he says to me, "No, motherfucker, we're gonna fucking fight." I say, "Cool, bro. Call my management." Cool, bro. Call my management. So this is the first time I've talked with you now. We've had no need to discuss this gangster stuff anymore. All this tough guy stuff is over. Your promo is done. We have
Done.
sold the ticket. It's done. Now, so I'm not expecting anything else. I'm going to do the other part of my job at this point. I continue to go up the stairs. I take pictures. I communicate with people. I shake hands. I kiss babies. I do the whole nine. I do exactly what I'm supposed to do. He gets me mid stride as I'm coming through the back side of the right side of the building. I tell my team that he approaches me, but I only let them know about the one time. because I didn't want to make a big incident about stuff because I didn't understand what was going on. I thought it was like a joke at first, but then when he did it again, I knew it was going to be a problem. So then I let them know. And then I was told by Trey, he said, listen, this guy, all he does is he just bothers people. That's what he goes online and he talks trash to people. Just avoid him. Go finish doing what you're doing. Have a good time. Enjoy your victory. I say, yes, sir, no problem. I go continue to do this. I don't pay no mind to this dude again. This dude is on something, like he's on something. He goes to run at me this time. These people have to grab him, right? Like they're holding him in the air. He done threw his beer on the ground. He had like a little energy drink and a beer. He threw it on the ground. So they're holding this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like
He
I
ain't
ain't
throw the
did nothing
monster
to
on the ground, did he?
No, he
He threw the monster down.
on the ground.
Was
On
it
the ground.
Tiger Life or
No, it's
Monster?
supposed to be Tiger Life or some shit like that,
Yeah,
right?
he had a monster in his hand. So I think he was false representing at this time. You know what I'm saying? I really do.
No.
Okay, all the way. All the way, because that can, I think it did have some green stripes on it. But anyways, so now he go to run at me. Okay, they're holding him. They're holding him like he's like I done did something to him. Like he's really finna jump up to beat me up. I laugh it off and I go about my business, man. I'm like, man, what the hell is on? I think he just drunk as hell because I don't really know who he is. I still don't understand who the guy is. I go down at the end of the night to see Ryan because he was in the room getting sutured up. He was jacked up, man. So I wanted to make sure that my opponent was okay, man. Like as a competitor, man, I'm always thinking about being the best version of myself, man. So I go down and I see him. I say, Ryan, man, how you doing, man? I'm speaking with him, and this is what they get on camera. It's me talking with him, asking him how he's doing, and I wanted to offer him a drink and go out, out to eat and stuff like that because this is what we do as competitors. It's a job, man. He's a colleague. He has a family. You know what I mean? I'm a businessman, and this is what we're doing. So it's a job. I'm very respectful. This green-haired guy walks over and taps me on my thigh, taps me on my thigh, taps me on my thigh. Now he
On the thigh?
He touched the thigh, did he?
Now I'm not. I ain't with all that. I'm already hot. You done trying to run at me. Now you done touched my leg. Listen, bro. Like we ain't even on that. We ain't even got that type
man,
of. We ain't got no type of rapport.
He ain't tap your shoulder.
No, he tapped the thigh. Ooh.
Like so now on the camera they're looking up top, and this nigga, he done patted my whole lower half. So now I'm all extra hot because I know you done did this to be extra slick now. So this makes me look like I'm gonna be the aggressive. If I push you off me, if I shove you sideways. So I turn to him as I go to turn to him because he makes sure I get he has my attention by the tap, and I say to him, man, listen, man. He said, man, I'm going to fight you. I said, okay, man, cool, man, no problem. And I walk off, okay? So you hear me saying, no problem, boss. When I say boss, man, listen, when I call somebody boss as I'm walking off,
that's that P. Cole about to come out. You finna call him a boss. That P. Cole
like,
finna come out.
That means everything you doing, boss. Like don't do nothing else. Like just stay on the other side, play your side of the fence. And he walks up all the way up, put his chest all the way up on my back as I'm walking away from him.
Not the thigh and the back.
So now I got all this extra over aggressiveness, and I don't know you. So yeah, I gotta get you up off me fast, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I might have moved your head a little bit, okay? And he's talking about how he ate it, man. Listen here, man. I crush stuff, man. So I know he ain't eating this, man. Like if I want to get to him, I'm dropping lumber, man. And it's only getting worse. So every day, the longer he takes to procrastinate on his butt whooping, it's getting harder. These punches getting harder. The will is getting stronger. The desire to achieve is getting greater. So it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I appreciate everything that he's doing. He's making me become the better me. Okay.
So why you think Quinn had ran up until you squared off on him? Why you think he stopped?
I think he was watching this. He seen him in right hands. When he was seeing the right hands, I think what it was, he realized like everything that he was doing, that little screaming on the ground, that WrestleMania stuff he pulling, you ain't gonna have a chance to pull that WrestleMania. I'm gonna get you up out of there.
So I don't think so. Being realistically, I don't think the green hair guy can get to 185. So do you think you meet him halfway in the middle if you want it?
The best part about me is I'm on a journey to travel down anyways. My team has goals and aspirations of me moving down anyways. So as this journey, I'm crushing cans on the way down. Listen, like I'm on the way down, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but guess what? It's a business, okay? And all I'm doing is I'm coming like I'm recycling. You hear me? And I want to make sure I crush as many cans on the way down as possible. All right. And I don't care how I get there. But my plan is to end off with some belts. All right. My kids got to eat, man. All of them, man. And my team, I appreciate them for everything. But I'm really looking for this guy with this green hair right now because I've been hunting for this gentleman. You know, he's the only gentleman that I ever just wanted to punch in the face. Like just feed him knuckle sandwiches for breakfast, lunch,
I mean,
dinner, snack.
all due respect. I mean, I think he should win a fight in his weight class first before you even think about moving anywhere. I mean, he talking about he say he want good John. He say he want this, he want that. I mean, I think that's all trolling if you ask me. I ain't never heard you troll nobody. I heard you let's get it in, win, lose, or draw.
That's all. That's all. And
Mm.
that whole Palomino thing. I think Martin Smash Brown for the handle all that. I don't believe there's not a man on this planet that's more deserving.
Not yet,
Mm.
cause he might get lucky, and Good John might beat Palomino, and that's gonna be a walkthrough for champ. You can
Man,
tie
that
your
shit
eyes
ain't.
closed for that one, can't you?
Yeah.
Man, he ain't gonna beat Palomino, man. Yeah, y'all know that. Everybody know that, man. Yeah, it was.
He
I
could
mean,
barely
but
beat a Cole.
yeah, he the best fight for him was the best. I mean, it seemed like all those guys that Palomino were asking for were under contract with the UFC. I think he mentioned in the early like I don't know if it was before his last fight or right after he mentioned. I think it was right after he mentioned going after the Diaz brothers. He mentioned going after Tiago Alves at like 175, and I think it's probably a lose lose for Tiago. If he knock off Palomino, they're gonna be like, man, you knocked off a 45 or slash 55, and if Palomino put them even if Palomino put them hands on him a little bit, you know, which one gonna be memorable?
Mm,
You get what I'm saying? Like, are we gonna remember Alves knocking out a little dude, or that little dude put them hands on his ass before he went out? And look, when I was young, man, my homeboy got into it with a midget. He threw the midget, but we didn't remember him throwing the midget. You know what I'm saying? We remember the midget hitting him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, I ain't never been hit by a midget. So like, you know what I'm saying? I think the more memorable part is gonna be if Palomino put them hands on him, man, and
I
even
just
if he get knocked out, it's just a lose lose for them. So he had to fight. Ultimately, it seemed like he had to fight Good John, man. It wasn't nobody else for him, and he
not you,
he was.
not you right now, cause you on the injury reserve roster, so
Yeah, I'm
he had to
all.
fight. You all
Yeah,
battle.
he had to get all sloppy seconds. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean. He did, to his credit, man. I mean, he beat Brito. He beat Alice. Uh, I think he beat Flags. I ain't sure. Um, so I mean, he beat the sport still new, and they don't have the rosters full, so he don't have that many people to fight.
I
And
can't. I'm just waiting on you to build Washington's record like that, along with with your record. Your record's up and coming, but when you got two people out of the gym, go ahead and plug. Let the gym know what gym you out of,
man,
what
they
gym
know
you on.
now. And they
They
didn't
know
know
now.
at first. They know now, man. I mean,
So
because it ain't just so you got two people in house fighting for bare knuckle. You got one, and I ain't gonna even say no names yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna let him hit the scene. You know, and he gonna be a problem, a real problem. Then you still have people like my gym is just a gym where people do camps at. So you still got Dave Mundell. He trains in his own gyms. Then he comes over here to do his camp. Jeff Bailey trained in his own gym. He came over here and did his camp. Um, Even his wife Delaney comes over here and do their camp. So like, I mean, everybody know if you want to fight, everybody know where to go.
so why
You
you don't
know,
why you so why you think personally green hair dude waited till he caught Washington by himself? Why you don't think he approached the camp? The
man,
whole camp.
you know Sugar from shit, man. They knew
That part.
what was gonna happen, man.
That
I
part.
mean, but that's and I'm not I'm you know what I'm saying this I ain't even trying to shine on Brandon. I done said it on every interview. I listen. I like how he garners attention. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So like it. I ain't never seen a dude go in and show absolutely no skill whatsoever, and people still rock with him. So you know what I'm saying? He has a unique ability to make people love him or hate him. So so don't get it twisted, man. I ain't got nothing against him, and but I just know how shit work. You know, I know that I mean, if you approach him 3 different times, he said three. I think Brandon said two. Red say three. You
On,
approached
on
him.
public forums, he's actually admitted to the other times. On several other public
Uh,
forums, he's admitted to the other times approaching me. So he
yeah,
willingly knew what he was doing.
yeah. So
He
so
knew what he
those
was doing.
each time he got approached, wasn't nobody around. So I mean, y'all know how that shit work, man. Like when you
That's like you in school when you start the fight and you wait for the principal to get close before you make that swing.
yeah,
He talked
but
that noise and got popped.
and I think and I don't know, man. The coach is different, man. Like I think when I've been around the sport for a long time, so I know the things you need to do to get a fight. So when somebody come up to me and start talking a noise to me, um, in front of cameras, I get it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm less likely to get up and hit your ass in the mouth. But the thing is, Red is brand new to this. So like when 5 or 6 people approaching, which that part is on camera. Now I can't speak for posturing. I don't know what was said. I saw the same thing y'all saw. So I ain't gonna be that guy that put stuff in and add stuff into it. But you do see all the people around him. So I mean, if when I was new in the sport, if you had did that shit to me, I probably would have hit him too. And probably would have went in on the rest of them and just got jumped on. But it's differences in culture. You know what I'm saying? Like but if you watch the interview we did yesterday with Mission Accomplished, I
Yeah, they
mean,
caught him in
was
the parking garage and got him
yeah,
interviewing.
yeah, but you see, I asked them what would they have done, and they said, "Shit, I would have did the same thing." But then when you see the comments, they were calling Red a thug and stuff like that. He's a thug, he's a hooligan. He ratchet, all of this shit. But like, I just don't know too many. Well, and Brandon say he didn't put it. Red say he touched your thigh. Brandon say he ain't touch him at all. But regardless, man, like if I'm walking off and I ain't from that world of entertainment like that, I'm trying to walk away, and you've approached me on several different occasions, and this time you got like a bunch of people with you. Shit, I'm I'm gonna want to fight. I'm gonna think you won't smoke.
I mean, I don't
And
see a big deal behind it. I mean, everybody might get a sponsor out this. I mean, it's all
I
for the
didn't see a
cameras.
big yeah, I didn't see a big deal out of it either. Even man, I'm gonna tell you, I spoke with Brandon after that, and he said he was good. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he was like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, nah, man, I'm straight. He said if Red come out here, he said out of respect for you, I'm gonna cool it. But if Red come out here talking noise, I'm gonna keep talking too. And that's to be expected. You know what I'm saying? You can't ask nobody to be no hoe or nothing. So I just told him, I just said, man, I mean, if you healthy, he healthy, he got jumped on. You know what I'm saying? He got punched and Red got jumped on. So I mean, Red came out of there with a busted lip with his headphones broke, but you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He was
two
just
hundred
he was
dollars.
just,
I need that.
yeah, he was just like, I'm straight. And Brandon in the lobby, he's straight. So I was like, man, y'all might as well just squash this shit and see if you can make some money off of this, man. I mean, try to get a fight. Now, to Brandon credit, Brandon did say, no, I want the fight. He messaged, I don't know if he inboxed Red, but on every platform I've ever seen them talking, he asked for the fight. I just don't think, I mean, Red walking around at 200, and he cuts to 185. I don't see a commissioner letting a guy that weighs 185 just coming off a win. I don't think he let. I don't think they gonna consider putting a guy who doesn't have a background for fights in there with somebody who bigger and just won a fight. Red got like 4 fights on record now.
I mean, as long as you make the credentials, from my understanding, is whatever the rules of that state is. If it's 4 pro fights or it's, I mean, as long as he's been sanctioned to fight. Obviously, he fought in Florida,
He ain't got but one. He
but
ain't got but
he had to prove some kind of background in Florida to let them sanction his fight because he had to prove that he had 4 fights. Don't know where he
shit.
got. I
They
don't know where
saying
he.
that they saying he lied about all that. I don't know how, but that's what they saying, man. Like I mean, he has you know that. So you've been looking at that dude they got called Patrol Man. That is
Mhm.
the funniest shit ever. But the dude keep asking, he does these like mock investigations, you know. But Patrol Man asked him, like, I actually like the fact that he don't like. So I hate a troll and I hate people who don't have like their real podcast on. I mean, I said podcast. They don't have a real profile on.
Yeah.
But like for some reason, something about something about Patrol Man is funny to me, man. I mean, because you know what it makes me. It reminds me of like Blank Man. You know what I'm saying? Like a comedy superhero.
Yeah.
So like, but like you'll see him trolling, and you'll be like, Patrol. You'll see at the bottom, man. Hashtag Patrol Man on the case. But he asked him, did he have some fights? Any kind of record, any kind of proof of all of these fights, and I think David Feldman said that he don't have any record of him fighting, and he hasn't shown in. I seen a post where Jeff Bailey was saying that you still hadn't shown anybody that you have any fights. So I don't know. Like
So do you think he's gonna have a problem getting sanctioned to fight anybody besides Red? Do you think he's gonna be able to just?
I
I
don't
mean,
know, man. I mean, I honestly, man, like I believe that kid gon' I believe he gonna sell, man, because it's some people who gonna want to see him get his ass whooped.
I mean,
And
it wouldn't be hard to go back and get that record. Go down and get 4 Emmy fights. Whether you get your ass whooped, you still got four
he
fights.
can't
To,
go back to he done took a pro fight now. It's
oh,
official now. He a pro now.
so
He in
even
there
they,
with the big boys.
so even if they discredit that he has no fights, what's gonna happen? They gonna.
He gotta fight some. He gotta find somebody who not good. I mean, he gotta and but people watch that though. Like, man, listen. You think look, as skilled as I am, you let me go down 20 seconds and catch two bums fighting. I'm gonna stop and look for a little bit. Y'all know I ain't the only one. Y'all ain't finna make me feel bad. I know I ain't the only one. You know. Where Rick at? I know he in a podcast, man.
Definitely
Rick,
watching.
Rick, yeah, Rick will
Rick,
step and watch a bum fight. I
that's
mean,
me.
so
That
so
Yeah.
so look, you a civilized young man with a wife and kids. So you see two bums outside fighting, you ain't gonna stop at the light and look for a little bit.
man, I'm gonna park the car and go Snapchat on there.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So
So
that
loud,
so
man.
so like if Brandon get in there with somebody and the dude windmill the shit out of him, I'm gonna watch that shit and I'm gonna be thoroughly entertained. Whether Brandon knock him smooth out or if Brandon get beat up, we gonna have, usually they throw them fights in Miami. We're gonna have he said, damn right. What I'm saying? We're gonna have a lot to talk about in the car. Like, I had Red on the way back. Like, hey, did
Boy,
you see that boy windmill, Brandon?
boy, Red, I ain't gonna lie. I was praying for you.
Helicopter.
I ain't gonna lie, Red. I was praying for you because these two nuts, Champ
Yeah.
and Rick. If you would have lost, boy, you would have
Yeah.
had that would have been a long ride back. You better call a bus back with that bag. But I'm like, boy,
Yeah.
I'm praying for him that he get a win. Cause boy, that's a long
I,
ride back.
I already knew it was fully focused. I already knew what type it was. He
Hey,
said, "We ain't taking no L's, Red. We ain't taking
shit,
no
it,
L's.
it like
We ain't
nine
taking no
hours
L's.
back with me now. That's 9 hours in the
We ain't
car
taking
with
no
me now.
L's. We
Champ
ain't
had
come
on
way up here to take no L's."
Champ had on his lumberjack hat in the corner looking serious. I'm like,
Hey
Yeah.
boy,
man, hey listen man, cause I'm gonna tell you man, I wanted it for Red, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like this a new world for him, And Red is funny, but like if he try to be funny, he ain't gonna be funny. But he
Not at all.
naturally funny. Like if you watch him, if you watch, like y'all get him in an interview. But if I just catch him on camera or him telling a story or something, man, that is the
Actually,
funniest shit ever, man. If Red tell you the story about the hot dog that ran his blood pressure up, and he wasn't trying to be funny. He just telling us a story, man. I damn near died. You know, so he just but that's the thing, like you hear his story of how he lived and the things he made it through, you want him to win. Kind of like Bobo. You know what I'm saying? Like I am a fucking fan of Bobo.
Bobo
You
better
know
than Wild Boy. He cool as heck.
yeah. Like
But
I and it ain't got nothing to do with his skill.
I mean,
All
you
right,
know,
I'm a little biased because he out of Mississippi, but you know, but like when Bobo did that interview and he seen Mike Kyle and he won the fight and they said, man, how did you win? And Bobo said, I mean, man, look at him and look at me. It wasn't nothing but the good Lord, because I couldn't beat nobody like him. I mean, what fool? That was the best answer you could ever say. I was like, yeah, and
I
that's
mean,
how that. Go ahead.
priceless.
do they feed you hot dogs in the gym, Red? I want to hear about this hot dog story that almost
Listen,
killed you.
listen. I'll
Hell
be real with
no.
you, man. I ain't never had a hot dog that make my mouth go numb, my eyes went numb, my cheeks went numb. And I just took a bite of this thing. Like it was at Total Line. I swear to God, I've never had a hot dog do this to me. My lips went numb. All right. I asked the person next to me. I said, "Does your hot dog make your lips go numb, man? I can't feel my lips."
Yeah,
Like,
you on your
and,
own.
and they started eating it like it was okay. I thought I was dying, like standing up. You know what I'm saying? Like I was really worried, and I was scared to grab water and everything. Man, it was a hard day for me. All right. And for the next week, I was worried about hot dogs. Like, like listen, man. Like, stuff
So we
you never know what's
we
gonna
we
happen
didn't
to you.
know what he was talking about when we walked up, man. He said, man, my eyes was twitching, my lip was numb, and I'm like, damn, what the hell Red doing
Yeah.
up here? He said, I think it was that damn hot dog I ate.
I
Boy,
haven't had a hot
that's
dog in like 7 months. That's what it was. I don't eat that stuff. You know.
That's
yeah.
that's what's up. So how was your camp? I mean, before the fight, I just want to know about your camp. How bad did
I'll
it?
be honest with you. I almost died like in camp. Like listen, and it wasn't even like it wasn't nothing but like 2 weeks. And people are like, oh, you get a 3 week camp, you're gonna come in and you're gonna be great. Yeah, you're gonna be great. You're gonna destroy stuff. Like you get to guarantee everything that you don't have, you will have by the time you're done with you. There ain't the focal point is real simple, making you better everywhere. Everywhere. So you're not sitting there getting that the one day, oh, you can come in and choke around and play around, float punches as it's called. My favorite thing is the float punches. Okay. Like I think
He
that
get in
this is
trouble
the
for that
biggest
a lot.
workout ever. I get in trouble for this every single day. I go in and I try to float punches and act like I'm warming up. That ain't what we doing today. That ain't what we doing. And that ain't what we doing. And so I know that's what I'm gonna hear, but sometimes it's just funny to hear. So I go do it just expecting to hear that. Okay. It is the best facility when it comes to fully focusing on your weaknesses to make them your strengths. Like it's for me it's more of a family. So I get everything there. You know what I mean? You get comedy, and then you get to hear all the stories because everybody comes from a different walk of life in the building. So you have really high paid people work really nice jobs, people work lower class jobs, but we're all like a family inside the building. So one person goes down, everybody goes down. Like it's one of those situations in there. So we work together from the rooter to the tutor. It's a nice building, like, and it doesn't seem it's like a rocky feel to a building though. It's not like you're going there and you got a Bally's Total Fitness. You walk in there, you're burning
Nah,
calories.
he
Just
ain't got
walking
none of
through the
that.
gate, you walk.
No, except the day
You
that
know.
I came, boy, I couldn't get out my car for 3 weeks. It was so cold in there that night. You was in there, and to
Yeah.
talk about your story. You was over there floating punch. Champ came over there and said, "Man, I don't know what this guy doing. I told him to do something else, but he over there floating punches. I don't know if you finna do something else right now."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Boy, Champ, hot." He said,
Yeah.
"But
That's what it takes though, man, when you're trying to get people right, man.
Uh-huh.
So the joke was when I came to the gym, I was gonna spar Champ, but I didn't want to hurt him before his big fight. So
Don't beat me up, man.
he ain't spar with me. You know what I'm saying? I was ready to take a
I,
knockout, but I'm like,
I
man,
ain't
come.
want none of that smoke, man. I ain't want none of that smoke,
I
man.
feel his static. He telling me he ain't want that smoke, but I'll be down there to see y'all soon, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah, come get this work.
So who
That's
do who do you have your eye on besides the Green Man? Honestly, who do
I'm
you
gonna
want
be
next?
honest with you. I'll take anybody. Like one thing I'm learning in my journey that I'm going on, man. There's not one person that should be immune to the smoke. You know what I mean when it comes to what you're doing. And if they're immune to it, I gotta bring the kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? I gotta bring the syringe. I gotta come with whatever. So there's not a person. I don't care whatever weight class I'm in, whoever it is, if you think you can beat me, send the management the information. See if they think it's reasonable, we gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? Like I believe in the squad I got. Man, I'm gonna be real with you, man. Man, I'm coming every single time. It's gonna get worse and worse. So each person is gonna be a progression.
I think we
You
can
know,
get him better. I do think we
you
can get
know.
him a lot better. He had a 3.5 week camp, and so I definitely think with an 8 week camp, like he just gonna get better and better, man. And he was, it was hard. He ain't never had a camp, so you know what I'm saying. It was hard to, like if when you ain't never done a camp, you get a little boo boo here, a little boo boo there. It's like I ain't coming in today, man. I'm hurt. So you know what I'm saying. Like early in the camp, we're pushing it, but like once he
Yeah,
got like the first, second week through, and he was like, I was like, man, it ain't gonna matter as long as you hurt or you just a little sore or tender or something like that. But if you ain't hurt, you got to get in here. And then it got to the point to where I ain't even had to tell him.
I
He
mean,
already knew what time it was.
you the person, you the perfect role model for that. I mean, if you can go through
you
a
by
round
example.
with a torn ACL, complete tear, you can finish a round and make the dude quit. I'm still thinking about that fight. Like, did he feel the win? And he's like, "Bitch, I don't want that smoke. But let me go ahead and say, nah, nah." So I
I'm,
mean,
I'm, I ain't gonna shine on him or nothing like that. Cause here's the thing, he he had a cut on his eye. So as long as you got a cut, like nobody can dispute the fact that there's a possibility of him having problems seeing, because the cut is legit on his eyelid. The issue that I think most of the fans and other competitors are having is, when you want to fight and the coach asks you, can you see? You be like, hell yeah, I can see.
mhm.
But you be blind as a bat, so I think that's the thing that kind of messed him up, when it comes to promoting the fight. I think soon as he said, man, I can't see, and he said it when he was getting up. Then he went to the corner and said he couldn't see. Man, the ref always gonna waive the fight because their job is to protect you. So when you know that, like if you see a guy who get hit with a punch, and he know he got hit with a punch, and then the referee say that he got hit with a punch, then he go to the corner and start doing shit like this. He looking for a way out. He want out of there because he know that if he can't see, they gonna stop the fight. So usually when you want to fight, you just be like, yeah, I can see. That's the first thing. Now if you poke me in the eye and I can see, I'm gonna be like, oh, I can't see because you finna get DQ. Well, how Kevin Hart said, you're going to jail, bitch. You're going to jail. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how I feel. Like you're getting DQ, bitch. He hit my eye, my eye.
And
I ain't
So did
taking an honorable approach.
so did he
yeah,
land any shots on you? Looking at
I'm
the
fucking
video,
with you, I am.
I didn't see too many. Did he even
You
touch you up a little bit? I mean, you brought him to.
man,
I'm
you
not
know
talking.
when?
I'm
Go
talking about
ahead.
red looked like he froze over there. I mean, I'm talking
I'm
about
good.
red.
I'm listening.
Oh,
I'm
my
I'm
bad.
doing exactly what a good stewardess would be doing in this situation.
Did he even touch you up a little bit? I mean, I seen you brought him to a range where you could touch him. I mean, he brought him to a range that he thought he was comfortable, but you were
I'm
more comfortable at that range where you worked him at.
I'm gonna be honest with you. He only actually touched me two times in the whole fight. Two times solid. The 2 times solid in the whole fight. And the thing it wasn't really solid punches. It was as I was moving away. So it looks like the hand actually touches, but my face is not. There's no actual impact. You know what I mean? So I didn't have anything but a scratch mark on my nose. and a scratch mark here. Um, and it was basically from me picking the range, like what we worked on in the camp. Like I really liked that. It made me real proud. Thank you for asking me that question because that was the hardest part in the entire camp because I wasn't used to fighting at that range to right where someone could touch me, but I could actually apply pressure. Um, and so we worked on just that because I wanted to be in close a lot and I wanted to try to trade with him. And that was what he didn't want me to do. So we trained specifically on staying within that range. So it looked like he could hit me, but you really can't hit me. Like it's and I was in a bladed stance. I did make simple mistakes like when I didn't pick my range right when we was in close. I didn't do full level changes. I kept my hand down on my transitions. Like I paid attention to what I didn't do right, but I know what I did right as far as my pulling him in and stuff. When he was trying to hit me, it looked like he was going to get off, so he would hit my shoulder and it would press my shoulder back. At the same time, I was already releasing a punch, so it looks like his impact is actually it's going to do something. But once again, I'm setting up one shot. I only want to land one shot. So and it was consistently the same thing. And I did forget my up jab, so it spared him a lot. Like on a couple of my freeze frames, it shows me in the position to throw my up jab. And I ain't gonna lie to you, you can hear my corner saying up jab, up jab, up jab, because it's so clear, like it's right there. Like I was so focused based upon what the training, like we did clinch work and everything. All the tie up in the fight, everything was timed perfectly because that's what we trained to do. Not one detail was like an add-on or an accident for the fight. Like it's the funniest thing is like for me hopping from side to side to me darting in to darting out. Each thing was literally planned and trained. Like it was a specific movements to be added into for the style of combat that I'm being taught. Like, and I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be a hard time with me. It's gonna be like I'm gonna be
I
working.
like
So
it.
like, and I like the aspect of like hitting people and watching them like they feel like they can hit you, so they're extra mad about it. And then when they realize they can't hit you, they change up. They change. I like seeing the will, like I do this because it's the thrill. Like I'm in this forever, like this is one of those things where I know that I was born for this. I'm blessed to be able to meet this gentleman here, man, that's like he's the best. He's one, like I've met other champions before, but nobody that is that detail oriented and fully focused all the time to detail. Like I can't make a mistake. He's sitting down on the side with a knee jacked up, right? And he will give you an intricate movement and still be able to do it better than you with his leg jacked up because
Can't do
he's that
I can't
focused.
do it but once though. I show it to him, then I go sit my ass down somewhere.
It's
you know,
perfection. It's an art. It's literally a lifestyle. So it's becoming of the movement. So it's just understanding what you want. You know what I mean? So I always give people their props when they go to making movements and stuff. And man, the gentleman is like beyond the fight game. You understand what I'm saying? He lives. It's a different. It's something to behold as a person. You know what I mean? So people just need to bring their tails into the gym just to meet the gentleman. You know what I mean? Not just because he's a black champion first and foremost. Okay, not because, but because he is an upstanding individual. Okay, and his facility brings nothing but their plan is to bring greatness to the entire region. All right, utilizing every aspect of learning and teaching for people. So I'm taking what I can get. Well, I got it because I know things are going to go global eventually out of this place. That's how much dream. That's how I see this entire faculty. Shift MMA is where it's neat, where it's at.
Shift MMA. Actually, if you know from rag to riches, bro, you're gonna go global, like you just said. But I seen a 360-degree turnaround from your very first fight. That first fight went like that. You didn't have a chance to figure anything out, to adjust. You went and got with the right guy. You went and got the right camp, and you looked. It was a 360-degree turnaround. I mean, you looked amazing in this fight, and I was rooting for a knockout. I mean, and
Me too.
Yeah, if it had kept going the way it was going, he gonna put him out.
I mean, I hear a lot of things online that it was an early stoppage. It was this is this, but when you have the best doctor in your corner from the whole state, he travels the whole United States doing this stuff. So when you have one of the best doctors that's on that side, I mean,
Yeah.
he looked at it.
Man, that's that man's job anyway. It's just people cousin got beat up or their homeboy got beat
That's
up,
what
and
it is.
they be
That's
like,
exactly.
nah, if you had an it like if it's always a if was a fifth, we'd be drunker than the sun bitch. You know what I'm saying? If a
Amen.
frog had wings, he wouldn't fall on his ass every time he hopped. You know what I'm saying?
That's the truth.
Everybody always got a if in there. The thing is, man, there was some mistakes. Like when the bell rung, Red was still fighting, and we were screaming, like we were like, bro, like we were like, bail, bail, bail. But he did. The referee did turn around and say he pointed at his ear, saying he couldn't hear it. So I don't know what was going on or why it was so loud. But then and so at first I was gonna say, man, that dude just deaf. But then it happened again with a different ref. So I mean, whatever was going on, somehow the referees couldn't hear they couldn't hear the bell. So I don't think it was just a referee that wasn't paying attention. I
Was it
just think he couldn't hear it somehow.
was it that loud? I mean, I know when you be in the fight world, you only hear your walkout. You don't hear nothing else but your walkout. So was it that
I
loud?
mean, they heard the bell. Because they stopped for a second and they were looking at
Uh-huh.
each other. And when the
Uh-huh.
referee didn't break it up, they was finna start right back bumping. But but they could hear it. And I could hear it because it seemed like he was close by me, so I could hear it. But we were just hoping that Red ain't stop and look over there at us
Thank you.
and do dump off on him. You know what I'm saying? Because then we'd have been having a different tune. We'd been saying Red got stolen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we trying to So that was the thing that we was worried about. But I mean, eventually when everybody else started screaming, the referee stopped. He stopped around and they went right back out. We didn't get to go we didn't hit a bell ring again.
No.
They had to cut the fight.
But yeah, like I
15,
said, man, I'm
15
so
seconds.
ecstatic. I'm so ecstatic that y'all came on tonight, to represent, Shift MMA or whatever. And I got a couple more questions for you, Red, and that'll be the end of your interview for the night. I do
Not a
really
problem.
appreciate y'all came on.
I got
So,
questions for you when you get done with Red. Don't you worry.
okay,
Just go ahead, carry on with Red.
well, so what you like Ninja Turtles? So you know what I'm saying. You said what's your favorite motto that you done crafted? I like Ninja Turtles, money, and what else?
I like Ninja Turtles money and green bitches. But green hair bitch. But yeah, it's it's a lot of things I like. But when it comes to money, okay, I like the green haired guy. Okay, I really would like to fight the gentleman. If he can't make the weight, it's okay. He can't make the date. That's even better. We can go outside and we can do it in any weather. It's all up to you though. Okay, understand? I just want a band. Okay, I'm here to make this motherfucker stand. I need to make sure everybody understands that one day I will be the man. Now, this is how this goes. Yeah, yeah. I got a whole bunch of rhymes for everything that I say. Now, I appreciate the opportunity.
Muhammad
Okay,
Ali
for coming.
style.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. And I really look forward to being on your podcast again. I appreciate my gym and the champ for everything. Um, and that's really all I got. Okay. Um, the rest is easy.
Well, Mark Trey said he had a couple questions. We're gonna see. We're gonna stick around and see what he got.
Man, look, I
Okay.
just wanted to know. So yeah, y'all not doing MMA anymore, man. I heard y'all covering aliens and shit.
I mean, yeah,
Mm,
that's our new platform. We do conspiracies, aliens, paranormal. I mean, the MMA world kind of got boring. Y'all two keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else we had on the MMA world, they keep it 100. But you can only ask the same questions. Now, unless you like Red and you have a melee, then we can talk about the melee. But
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
first of all is how you cut weight, what you eat, what's your diet. That kind of got boring. I mean, there's a million other MMA podcasts. There's a million other this. We want to be different. We want to set the platform different. But my two favorite guests decided to come on tonight and say, "Hey, can we do it?"
Yeah,
So I got my boy Trey on and
yeah.
Washington. So we gonna try to hash this out. Wish Brandon would have answered tonight so we could have popped him in, but
well,
That
maybe
would
just
we
have been
just know
some.
this. My
That would have been some
background.
good
I was
shit.
in a program called Dozier, so and Dozier in Florida was a very, very rough living. So I have a lot more to tell when it comes to my lifestyle and my story, as far as people understanding why I behave the way that I behave, and why I joined sports. When it comes to mixed martial arts, most people ask the simple questions. In general, nobody asks why you start combat sports, why you actually get into this in the first place. What was your upbringing like? They ask the opposite question of what's keeping you in it and what's your focus there. So these are questions that are very imperative, I believe, as far as like a competitor, what got you to that point? Because that's more important to understand the person, because it's imperative to understand the individuals who are in the sport, not just the actual the competition itself. That's a minimal amount of time that we invest into things. We go through so many hours weekly and daily and monthly to get prepared to perform for the public, essentially, for only 15 minutes. So what drove us to even want to be in that spotlight? What put us in that position? Our back? That's what matters. This is imperative within other storylines that most people don't take the time to use in journalism, because they don't figure that it really has any hot points. But when it got people like myself who've been all over the state and been through all types of situations, when I have a massive history that would enlighten so many and help and benefit everybody. So it's just being able to know and ask the right questions to get a person to open up and speak on those items from that time frame. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense. So you said Dozier, Florida. I mean, we got a couple minutes left. If you want to dabble on a little story on, one of your
Well,
frames, I mean, I'd love to hear it.
in specifically in Dozier, one thing that everybody is starting to hear now is about the bodies that are being dug up. And a lot of the people that were in those positions who were actually released from the place are either in prison forever, or they're in very, very traumatizing states of mind. I'm one of the only people that was actually released from the place who's doing anything productive. And it was a very, very hard transition from that level of detriment to this form of life of living now, because I'm still in a transition. At this age, I'm still transitioning a lot of those old past behaviors based upon systemic learning of living in that environment. Not many people are going to speak like me that come from that background as well, because they didn't take the time to educate themselves, because there's so much trauma that took place in that environment. Okay, from the killings to the rapes, the molestations, to the beatings. Okay, like this thing took place on regular basis, and the thing is that people were killed, and then there was accidents mysteriously that were written down on paper, but nobody paid any attention to this at the time, because it seemed like it was nothing. Okay, the same thing with falsifying that your visitation, falsifying that they're getting phone calls home, and letting the family members know that they're okay. They never got in contact with them. These things were very, very common back then. All right. Nowadays, you have all these the camera setup systems that are set up, and recording processes, so people can actually record what's taking place. Back then, it's just word of mouth. You write down some stuff, and then everybody would like agree on it.
So where
And because
exactly? So where exactly is this for the people who don't know? I mean, I'm sitting here like puzzled. Where is it?
Dozier's right outside of Mariana County, I believe. It's a boys' reformatory. Now, when you're sent there as a kid, like for a bad behavior, like say for instance, I was a very violent kid. Okay, so I used to attack the people who would attack me, essentially, is what would happen. But I would always come off as the violent person because of the response. Okay, so what would take place is I would return. After they would hurt me, I would go back and attack them, and it would always be more than what they did to me. So it would always warrant law enforcement. So as this thing took place, I ended up in those positions. So
That's a good question. You see what the guy um
mhm.
Dan Duke asked?
Go ahead
That's
and answer the question if you would like.
Me
After I
or
asked the
Red?
question, let's
Red,
see.
that's for red. That's for red.
What is the question? Spiritual
He said, "I
philosophy.
have to ask. I have to ask if the guests think of fighting as a spiritual or a philosophical path, or both. I know it's a discipline, but I always felt like it went much deeper." I mean, I think it's different. Like I let Red answer
So,
his
so,
reasoning, then I tell mine.
for me, it is both in all aspects. Like for me, it's the ability to be able to defend or offend past situations. It's also a way for me to release levels of aggression, to be honest. Those level of aggression only stem from me not being able to learn certain things, so I figured this would be the way that I can show the people that I've learned so much. Like this for me, fighting is an actual book. So I look at this, I literally look like I'm building a building block. So everything that I do, I feel like it's the new, it's like plus, minus, and everything. So it's very imperative for me to be able to find that outlet. And I'm at peace only when I'm in war. Like it is the only way that I feel like I'm at peace. When I'm not doing this, I'm not. My mind is no longer like it's I'm necessary. I'm not clear headed, but when it's about combat, I am all involved. So yes, it is all of those things for me.
Mm,
Definitely.
For me, it is deeper than just fighting or even learning a martial art. Like I'm an '80s baby, so I grew up in a time frame when the black dude always died in the horror movie first. You know what I'm
The
saying?
first
And
guy.
my dad was lighter complected, but my mom was darker skinned. So like when I was coming up, you had you was dark skinned with nappy hair. You was ugly, and we would always those was the jokes we was getting coming up. Then to add to that, my brothers were phenomenal athletes. My younger brother got bigger than me. He's 6'4". My older brother was way faster than me. He used to get all the girls and he made straight A's. So I grew up with a lot of things that contributed to low self esteem. So I when I was coming up, I always admired um, comic books. The fact that they were like the superhero was always better than the average man. And so when you grow up with low self-esteem, you see a superhero, you be like, I want to be like that. I just want to be acknowledged. I want to be something special. And so knowing that the average person don't know nothing about martial arts, that was why I got into it. And that was something like knowing that I would actually be better than the average person. But then, like once you get past the low self esteem, because then when Wesley Snipes came out in Blade, you see dark skinned people kind of dope now. But so low self esteem went out the window.
That's guaranteed.
You know what I'm saying? And then what's the dude in Love and Basketball? I said, oh, we in there now. So Morris Chestnut, wasn't it?
That's
Or
more
was it
chestnut. He was in there.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
one of them.
As you when those days went out of the window, then the deeper part for me was the self discovery. Once you get it out of the way that okay, I am superior to most people, that's no longer bragging rights. Then I see that I am superior to other people that are superior to most people. Then you get that out of the way. Now the self discovery part come in where you want to know how good you are. You keep whooping people and you like, well, I want to know if I'm the best in my city. Then you say, I want to know if I'm the best in my state. Then you say, I want to know if I'm the best in the country or in the region, then the country. Then you want to know if you the best. You want to know if you the best in the world after that. So that's where the self discovery part comes from. Then even when you take a look at Clarissa Shield, I mean, she reached her limit in boxing. She beat everybody who it was to beat, and now she's moving over to MMA, and she's still not done discovering who she is. So me, it's the same thing with me. I didn't. I mean, I was competing and I was whooping people, but I do feel like politics play a role in any sport. You know, so I didn't know. You know, I have a time limit. I'm old. I didn't know how long I was gonna be competing before I actually made it to the UFC. I knew I was knocking people off on the way there. I didn't know how every fight somebody say one more fight, man. You ought to be there. I knock somebody else out. One more fight, one more fight. So by the time this bare knuckle stuff came there, and then at that time I'm like 34, 34, 35. We don't know if the UFC gonna be willing to sign a 35-year-old man. You know, they looking for young talent. Here come bare knuckle. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like I could have smoked anybody. I didn't get old and get beat out of the sport in MMA. I felt like I could smoke anybody at 155 in MMA. And but then when he came, when bare knuckle came around, you know, I was like, well, in the meantime, during Corona, since ain't nobody throwing fights, but this dude's still throwing fights somehow, then I'm gonna beat a couple of their asses too. And you know, so I'm doing this and I'm still figuring out, like, cause even when I watched the first bare knuckle fight, I said, man, hell no, I can't do that savage shit. And then when I whooped the first son of a bitch, I was like, well, I've been here before. You know, I done had a fist fight before, so it was just another day. But still to this day, I'm discovering who I am and wondering how far I can go.
So, question, off a little bit off the subject while we got red on. If UFC gives you that call, if you're not under contract and you can answer this question, if Dana's out there listening somewhere, we happen to make it into his inbox, you can whoop anybody at 155 in the UFC.
Talking about Red or me?
You.
Man, I'll beat all them boys' ass. I ain't, man.
So
Oh,
if
you
they
thought
make
I was gonna
Guaranteed.
bite my tongue?
so if they
It's a
make that call
guarantee.
right now, you going UFC.
That now that's a different question. You said, I mean, cause right now, man, I mean, David said that he got some big plans for me, and Paige Van Zant said that she made 10 times more than she ever made in the UFC. So, I mean, if I
That
ain't,
was
you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to.
So it
It,
might be too late, Dana. He might be in there with you. He might be in there with BKFC and ain't going nowhere.
I mean, I mean, the man said he trying to start a pension plan for fighters. So somebody gonna have to compete with that. You know what I'm saying? And it is
that
called
part.
prize fighting for a reason, man. So like, I mean, I don't blame Palomino when Palomino was saying that he want to make sure he get paid. Now, if he worth all of that, you know, I don't know. I ain't the one to speak on that. But I mean, more money ain't never a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's 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 like if you go into the UFC. If I go like here's how I'm looking at it. If I go into the UFC now, um, like you starting from scratch. You know, I already have already got a start in bare knuckle, and you know I have a decent relationship with the matchmaker and the promoter. You know what I'm saying? Like so I think it's the ball has already started rolling. You know what I'm saying? So if I you know what I'm saying, if I max out at and bare knuckle and he tell me like, hey, I don't have anything else for you, then I mean I just you know you go to what's next, you go to what's best for you. But like I just don't see I could see me if Dana called me right now, I'm gonna be on the damn prelims. You know what I'm saying? I just had my first. I mean, here's the thing, man. I just had my first pay. I've been on streaming. I've been on the UFC Fight Pass on streaming services before, but I've never fought on a pay per view. You know what I'm saying? So like, I thought that was a big deal to me. You know, but if I go back to the UFC, I'm gonna be back on the prelim. What am I making? 8,000, 8, 16 grand, you know, which is good to, you know, if you fighting on local promotions, that's good. But when you compare, you know, when you compare the potential pay, You know what I'm saying? It's different. So I mean, ultimately, man, I'm always gonna consult with people that's way smarter than me to see what's the better deal. But I mean, right now, I kind of like where I'm at. So Dana would have to do some real, you know what I'm saying? He would have to tell me something real good. Which on the flip side, I mean, why would he? You know what I'm saying? Who am I? Like who? It ain't like he got fans sitting in the UFC waiting on Smash. However, Bare Knuckle do got
Do
fans
yes,
waiting
sir.
on Smash. So
Oh,
right, you hear that sound, you already know. If you think about it, man, if you nobody gonna walk out. I mean, if you hear somebody say something like that, and you on the other end, you got to fight a guy that the whole crowd screaming, "Uh-oh, man, this son of a bitch can fight." You know what I'm saying? You be like, "Damn, I wonder why they say that. Oh, is it because he knocked everybody out?" So I don't know, man. I think it's pretty
Yeah.
intimidating. For me though, I ain't never for I don't know that stuff. I was always brought in as the B side guy, so like I was brought in as an opponent. So like even if your crowd screaming for you, I be thinking to myself like, boy, too bad they can't fight for you. You you know what I'm saying? You in here with me. I'm finna
well,
know. I be wondering if your mama out there looking at me because she finna see her baby take a snooze. You know.
well, guys, I would just like to say, man, I really appreciate
That
y'all
part.
coming on. And
Hey,
like
tell
I
her
said,
Red, we ain't hearing none of that, man. You ain't trying to go to bed on us and be a
Not at
responsible
all.
adult. Listen,
Up.
we ain't got nothing to do. We don't come back in
Yeah.
the gym until 6, partner. We ain't got
That's
nothing
it.
to do with you being a responsible adult and getting up at five
That
o'clock and
part.
taking care of your kids, man. You
No.
look, we put some things to the side to do this interview, so now you got to stay up, bro.
ain't
Uh,
no ain't no problem.
So
But
you finna stay up? Get the drinks out.
get
nah,
them
man,
out.
I ain't no about no drink. But I
I,
do,
I'm just messing with you, man.
but I do owe you a drink when I see you, Red. We got you.
All right.
So
For sure.
I just,
Appreciate you.
well, we'll keep trying to lock this green fella guy in. If we can trap him down like a ninja turtle, we'll go ahead and see if we can
Oh
get something
yeah.
back on.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. I throw some peace out there for him. I like the cowbonger. He know what time it is. We ready to ride.
He probably just didn't see the message, man, because he normally, man, like I tell you
Yeah.
what, go on his page right now and say, "Boy, Brandon, you don't want no smoke." he gonna respond right away.
you trying to keep you
Immediately.
you trying to keep me up. This gonna be another. This gonna turn into a 3 hour interview
Hey,
if I
let's
keep.
do it. Let's do it, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, man, we done did the
All right.
we done
Bet.
did the late night, early in the morning thing before.
Well, we'll try to line that up before anybody else get y'all put together. We'll try to get this exclusive back. Well, like I said, Red, we wish you the best of luck in your
Appreciate you.
upcoming fights. And we ready to see you back in now.
Man,
For
I'm ready
sure.
to
For
get
sure.
back in there.
While I got y'all on, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Nanny Cakes, 407-923-2898. You can get some amazing cakes, and if you order one, champ, I'll drive it to you, and that'll be the best cake you'll ever eat up there in Tampa.
Man, you
Yeah.
better quit playing. I'm about to order a nanny cake just to see if your ass really gonna drive up here.
Man, they fire. You order one, I'll make sure you get it.
How much is
Reach out to Nanny Cakes and find out. Austin,
it?
you do get a discount for being a three beardo. So
Hey,
reach out if you want one. We'll make sure we get it up there when you're not
I'm gonna
doing weight cut.
get old nanny cake. I ain't doing no weight cut. I can get fat now. I'm gonna get a nanny cake on your ass.
Well, make sure you do, brother. Well, like I like to say, man, y'all have a good night.
All
All
right,
right.
man. You be easy, homie.
I will, homie. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.